powering through that first week of school. Oh my god. Anyways, let's talk about Shane Black. So, Shane Black is directing the new Predator movie, which is coming out next August. Basically, a little less than a year away from now. So, I decided, you know what, I'm going to review the other Predator movies before it comes out. So I got those on the schedule, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not really happy with my Alien reviews. I'll redo the Alien reviews before Predator comes out. Got those scheduled. Then I was like, well, you know, Shane Black has made other movies, and from what I've heard, he's made some pretty good movies. You know, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3. I already reviewed Iron Man 3 for my Marvel series, so I was like, you know what? I have the time on my schedule. Let me throw The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on there. So that's what I did. So yeah, let's talk about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So, this movie tells the story of a crook. He's on the run from cops, he stumbles into an audition for a film, wins the part, goes to Hollywood, and he's flung into a tangled, murderous conspiracy with his childhood sweetheart and Private Eye. Now, Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie, and he plays the character of Harry. Dude's great. This is an amazing performance with a ton of comedy, a ton of just emotions in general. I mean, obviously, that's what you want from a performance, I guess. But point is, this is a pretty great performance. I would probably even go as far as saying it's my favorite Robert Downey Jr. performance. This was just a really, really great character and performance from him. And honestly, I would love to see more stories with these characters, because these characters are all great. Let's talk about the rest of them. You have Val Kilmer as Perry. He's the funniest I've ever seen Val Kilmer. Admittedly, I have not seen Val Kilmer in very many things. The only thing I can think of that comes to mind at the moment is Batman Forever. And he was funny in that movie for a different reason than he is in this movie. But yeah, he's pretty great in this movie, though. I didn't know his character was gay. And there are a lot of, like, gay jokes and references in the movie. None that are, like, mean or hurtful. Just gay jokes. And, yeah, I just, for a second, I thought they were just, like, supposed to be mean and that kind of thing, but then I was, like, reading into it, and it said that his character was gay, so I was like, oh, okay. And then you have Michelle Monaghan as Harmony. She was really good and funny. I really like Michelle Monaghan as an actress. I haven't seen her in a ton of movies, but everything I have seen her in, she's just been really impressive. She's a very good actress. And like all of Shane Black's movies, and hopefully The Predator, because I would love to see a Predator movie set during Christmas time. Admittedly, I haven't seen Predator 2. Predator 2 may take place during Christmas time. I don't know. But, again, like all of Shane Black's other movies, even Iron Man 3, a Marvel movie, where he was probably not given full creative free reign to do what he wanted. It takes place at Christmas. And now I'm just gonna get into talking about everything. The narration in this movie is freaking incredible. It practically makes the movie. I don't think the movie would be the same without it. I'm being completely honest. The narration, in my opinion, is a useful tool if you know how to do it right. And most of the time, it is kind of just an expository crutch for filmmakers who are like, well, we want to convey this information, but we can't find a fluid way to work it into the script or anything. Let's just have them narrate. that I'm not a huge fan of. But this narration is great. It really serves the story. It leads to one of my favorite movie endings of all time. And it's funny. I mean, it's seriously funny. Robert Downey Jr. has a lot of jokes in the narration alone that make the movie worth watching. And there is an amazing scene where he's in his bathroom peeing. He looks over, sees a body, turns, and he's still peeing, so he starts peeing on the body, and it's funny. And there's another really funny scene where he's going to do like a Russian roulette thing. He puts a bullet in the gun. He spins the thing and then shoves it in and then pulls the trigger thinking that it's like empty. And then he shoots the dude in the head, and it was really unexpected. And I laughed so hard. I love it when movies can make deaths really funny. That's one of the things I love about Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction, spoiler alert for Pulp Fiction if you haven't seen it, but there's the scene with Marvin in the car. And yeah, that's a really funny scene. And this is kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, this movie is kind of structured in a way like one of the crime novel detective stories that are shown in the movie. The character... There's a lot of references to this series of detective novels. I don't actually know if it's a real series or if it's just like a made-up thing for the movie, but I think it's made up for the movie. If it's not, feel free to let me know in the comments. I don't know. I didn't look into it that far. But that's just, that's just what I think. But I really like that because, like, you even have Robert Downey Jr. in the narration saying, like, but in the books there was always, like, this happening, and that's exactly what's happening in the movie, and I just thought that was really funny. And this movie is pretty much a satire, borderline parody of the film noir genre. Even down to the ending, there is a great, great scene that I'm not going to spoil because it is one of the greatest things I have ever seen on film. But just watch the movie up until, just watch the movie. And near the end, not like right at the end, but like during kind of the close of the movie, there's a great, great scene where they're making fun of the cliches of these movies. And then something happens. There's also a really funny Lord of the Rings reference on how that movie, The Return of the King, takes like 10 million years to wrap up. And so, yeah, this movie is actually a pretty good segue to talk about the comedy. This movie is a dark comedy film, first and foremost, so you kind of gotta wonder, how's the comedy? If you've been paying attention, the comedy is amazing. This movie is very witty and fast, and there's a ton of just really funny satirical lines in this movie. I would say this is probably one of my favorite satire movies, and I can't even like comfortably call it just a satire. It really is a black comedy satire film noir movie, because in certain aspects it does take the story very seriously. It's not all jokes all the time. I know I'm highlighting the comedy because that's one of the best elements of the movie, but really, I mean, for the most part, this movie is kind of more a black comedy, but it does have certain elements of seriousness that make the story... It adds weight to the story and makes it seem like, oh, there are stakes here. Same thing like how I talked about Captain America the Winter Soldier, how that movie did that for the Marvel movies. This movie does it in a similar way. They balance out the jokes with enough seriousness that it works very well and you care about what's going on while you're also laughing. guys, this is just definitely one of the best movies I have ever seen. I absolutely loved every second of the movie, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who is just a fan of dark comedies, film noir, anything. Shane Black. If you're a fan of Shane Black and you haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, then I guess you're not really that much of a fan of Shane Black. Like, I really love this movie, guys. I cannot believe I never decided to look into seeing this movie earlier. And obviously, you guys know, I'm gonna give Kiss Kiss Bang Bang an A+. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the movie if you've seen it. Check out the link to our Patreon page in the description. And I'll talk to you in the next video.